everybody, game number 2 of today's action in the World Games Blind Football Tournament. As match day 2 comes to an end in the women's group stages, and to conclude it, it's Germany against Austria. Geographically, they are quite close. Are we expecting to have a close old tussle? As both, of course, are standing out on the centre circle, as both, of course, are going to be standing for their respective national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you are able for the national anthems.
The national anthem of Germany. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Austria.
Round of applause when the national anthems have been done. Seems to be quite a few German flags in the crowd as well, as I look away to my right from our commentary position. So they, of course, have got good support. Well, alongside me is former England goalkeeper Dixie Dean. As said, of course, geographically they are fairly close. We're expecting a close encounter here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight match, I would imagine. The Austrian girls have been playing. They're the first female team in Europe, actually, I think. They've been playing together for about 3 years, and Germany probably 2 years. But I think the Germans have progressed quite quickly, and it's quite difficult to say which way this is going to go. But they're both in desperate need of points, really. So, you know, to make it through into the semi-finals, they need a win. A draw really is no good to them at all.
Well, of course, with India losing earlier, this represents a perfect opportunity for one of these two to really close down the gap on Argentina and get a chance to reach, of course, the last 4. Well, of course, you did see there today, or heard, India nil, Argentina 4 in the other game in this group. Germany, Austria concludes this one, and then of course we move on to the men's tournament later on today, with of course Colombia, Spain to come right after this in the men's groups C and D, which start today. Let's look at the lineups then, starting with Germany. Svenja Bartels, number 1 in goal. Alyssa Rudi, number 4 is in the side. Matilda Maas, number 7 Jenny Dabelstein, and number 9 Amira Schwarz completes the 5 players on the pitch for Germany. Marie Jorgens, Melissa Potras, Vanna Markart and Katja Löffler are the substitutes for the Germans. Head coach is Michael Hain, with the guide Sven Gruner. The on-pitch matters to, of course, help with the attacking team. And the Austrians are like this: Tanja Hengel in goal, Anna Marie Javornik is one of the 4 outfielders, Daniela Angera and Angelica Angera, number 6 and 7 are in the lineup. Completing the lineup is captain Bettina Suliuk, with Eva Kirchner and Rebecca Gottwald the substitutes for the Austrians. Just the 2 subs. Nasmin Priore is the coach. The guide is Beata Angera. Well, of course, both these sides did start off with a loss in their opening games. Germany beaten 3-0 by Argentina. Austria losing out to India. And of course, before the game, of course, they're going to be exchanging the pendants and having the traditional handshakes that you often see. The German captain Vanna Markart and the captain Bettina Solyuk. Our referee is Romina Racedo, Tika Rusli, Carmelo Gavano and Herminal Lubrano. The goal scorer is Alexandros Sharmpis, and the timekeeper is Mayara Crispim. So they are the list of officials for this match today. Still in beautiful sunshine. Almost feels like weather where I could be having a beach towel in the chair that I'm in, given it's very warm weather rather than what we saw at the start of this women's tournament, which was damp, bleak weather. Far from it. What a difference a couple of days can certainly make. But of course, Argentina are the real front runners in this group, with India getting beat 4-0. It has really opened second place wide up here, isn't it, Dixie? And I mean, obviously they would have no doubt seen that result, and this will probably, I guess, buoy both of them, the fact that India have won one of their 2 games, but are now on a minus goal difference, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I would think it's buoyed up the Germans more than the Austrians, because the Austrians have got Argentina to play. And based on what we've seen from Argentina, I don't think the Austrians are going to get anything out of that game. So the Germans will obviously, if they win today, it's going to be a straight shootout between them and India for second spot and to progress into the semi-finals. So I know that's going on a little bit, but it must come into their heads. So it's absolutely vital that there's a result for either of the teams. As they're not going to progress.
Well, they are just having their final team talk before they do battle on the pitch. Germany in all red, whilst Austria are in white shirts, black shorts, white socks. You'd often think that you were switching that around in terms of the team's colours, but that is what the kit colour is today. As the Germans come away from the near side back onto the field of play just after the Austrian side, who of course were first to move away from the near side board. Referee just going through their final checks. Their dark blue strip, black shorts, black socks, quite a bit of black tinge on the shirt to match as well. So it will be the German side, as I mentioned, in all red in that Adidas strip of theirs. White tinge on the sleeves and the sort of side left and right of the shorts. And it will be the number 4 Alyssa Rudi alongside Jenny Dabelstein, who will get this game underway and get us rolling here as we conclude the second round of matches in the women's tournament in the group stages. And as I mentioned, the German flags are out here in the blue seating area. So they've got good support to try and help them over the line and get their first win of these games. So it will be Rudy in the black trainers of hers with the white tick to emphasise their Nikes, and underway we go in this all-European clash. Both sides lost their openers. Can they get a win in the second game to put them right in the mix of a place in the last four? Of course, what would be interesting if Germany were to win, it would set up that encounter with India in the final round of matches. But if Austria were to win, then they would have to hope that they catch an Argentina side off guard, who so far in this tournament have been very, very impressive. Here's Dabelstein on the near side, inside the Austrian half, coming in field into the centre. Not quite able to get that room to get that shot away and test Tanja Hengel. Still there with the ball at her feet. She's gone from the left to the right side of the pitch. She now just wanders into her own half of the pitch. Just to get these shots away. Will bobble on through into the area of Tanja Hengel. Throws it out into the German half of the pitch. Does find a teammate in white, but she's closed down by several German players as they look to come away with it. Mira Schwarz has lost out. Austrian captain winning it, Bettina Sulyuk. Now in possession inside her own half. The number 10 with the... Who's number 10? Coloured in black on the back of their shirts. No name on there. The Germans, of course, with their red shirts have white coloured names and numbers on the back. Rudy is able to win it right on the halfway line. Winning off the number 7, Angelika Angera. But so far, Dickie, in the opening sort of 2 minutes that are nearly upon us, quite a scrappy, tense game it feels like so far.
Yeah, they haven't settled down at all yet. I'm sure they will when we get a couple of minutes under their belt and everyone has a touch on the ball. They'll start to feel a bit more confident. But it's it's a bit scrappy at the moment, and lots of misplaced passes and little bits of poor control as well. But it'll settle down.
Well, the Austrian side here have got themselves a good opportunity to make use of this corner, the first one of this encounter. German goalkeeper Svenja Bartels has got 3 players in front of her to see the players in front of her just quickly charge at the Austrian corner. Is Bettina Sulyuk, hustled and harried by Lisa Rudy. Managed to get away from her, but the ball then just sort of caught underneath her trainers in the bottom of it. That's just sent her back a little bit. She is still going forward though. This is good footwork as she tries to get away from Dabelstein. Ball is still rolling around in there. Sulyuk with it. Alongside is Angelika Angera. However, though, the German side able to get it back with Matilda Maas, who looks to just try and bring it out from her own half, but has lost out as Bettina Sulyuk has got it. So the German side can't get out at the moment. The Austrians look to try and score first in this game and get the breakthrough. Although Sulyuk crowded out by Alyssa Rudy. It is a goal kick for the German outfit, as we are still in beautiful sunshine, perfect conditions for a game. It does feel like British summertime now. Here is now Matilda Maas trying to get it onto her right side to shoot, but there were several Austrian players back to close her down. All the Austrian players incidentally inside their own half, so providing a lot of support for Tanja Hengel in the Austrian goal. Rudy closed down by the Austrian captain Bettina Sulyuk. Sulyuk on it once more now, just trying to get away from Dabelstein. She did so, but she couldn't do it against the second player, and Alyssa Rudy. So look, now just on the halfway line, just coming back into her own half. Looking to try and find the support, but she has had to go to the far side and go to those sideboards where she can't really move. They need to get it out from that area, do both sides. Dabelstein closed down by Angelika Angera. Now the German side look to break away and come with it, but they have lost out as Sulyuk is there. And the Austrian side in possession. 5 gone, it is goalless, and very much a goalless feel to this game thus far.
Yes, indeed, it's not much goal-mouth action at the moment. The Austrians are the team that's attacking more than the Germans at the present time, but no shots on goal at the moment.
Alyssa Rudy was looking like she was about to line up a shot, but she did just fall at the last hurdle. She was right on the left byline, the sort of edge before she was inside Tanja Hengel's area. There is now Dabelstein. Close control just gets her inside the Austrian half of the pitch on the near side. Near side where, of course, both coaching staffs and subs are. Right in front of the Austrian side of things, and behind her on the board is the Austrian coach Asmin Traore. Dabelstein forced over to the right by Angelika Angera. Certainly not been an attacking game at the moment, as emphasised and as said by Dixie. Does look as though the Germans already think a sub is the best thing to do. Dabelstein tries to fend off Sulyuk. Ball is bunched up with all the players in the middle of them on both sides. Sent over onto the near side. We're now going to see Vanna Markart come on, the German skipper. Certainly already the German coach Michael Hain not too pleased with what he's seen, so he's hoping a change can be a sign of change inside the German half. Right next to the boards on the near side is Angelika Angera. She back heels it, but it's gone straight to Alyssa Rudy, now trying to come into the middle of the pitch. Facing her own goal. In the middle of the pitch, she was closed down well by Sulyuk, who's now trying to get the better of Matilda Maas. Mira Schwarz, German number 9, trying to skate away from Tina Sulyuk, the Austrian captain. She's done well to get away from her at the second attempt. She came in from the right-hand side infield. Still goes on, Amira Schwarz. We could see the first shot on goal here. However, though, it is shielded well by Daniela Angera. Let it run for a keeper, Tanja Hengel, to first time clear. Now Dabelstein is in a 50-50 battle with Tina Sulyuk, and still Vanna Markart waits to come on. The ball won't go out of play yet, so we've had the bulk of the first half already played with not a lot of stoppages, so the ball has been in play a lot, just without a lot to show for it. Amira Schwarz has defended that well, but both sides in this game, Dickie, I mean, they're very intent on trying to keep it at 0-0 at the moment, because they all seem at the moment, when any opposition is not in possession, they're very quick to get all the players back outfield-wise. Yeah, they're defending in depth, both teams, and sorry to say, it's a bit of lack of quality, really. Perhaps with the German captain coming on, she might have a bit more quality and get her foot on the ball and start passing it around a little bit. But at the moment, it's like one going forward against 4 defenders, and they swap positions, and exactly the same happens at the other end. So very difficult to see where a goal's coming from at the moment. Yeah, it just feels like they're just making territory without real purpose behind it, but hopefully that can change in the final 5 minutes of this first half that remain, or just over it anyway. Now it is with Angelika Angera, who has lost out to Mira Schwarz. Ball has been played a lot in this game so far, right in the middle of the pitch. It's the rare time we've seen the ball go out of play, and now Germany do get the opportunity to make a change. Vanna Markart is going to come on. Lisa Rudi is going to come off, so Germany will have their captain enter the field of play. And possibly with this, looking for her to make an impact and maybe just change a little bit of the style, because it's not really come out on show yet from the German perspective, and certainly the German fans in the crowd and whatnot certainly not got a lot to be excited about, as they've just been in their seats the entire time. Ball now inside Austria's half of the pitch. On the far side board is Jenny Dabelstein. Although Austria able to defend it well. Also spoken about how there's been a lack of attacking quality in this game. Very few shots. Defensively, both sides have been strong and solid. Certainly very disciplined. So, not like the game between India and Argentina, where Argentina opened up India so many times. But India just really struggled to close down that door in terms of shots against them, but there could be an opportunity here for Austria, and there is, as it's gone wide of the goal from Daniela Angera. The first opportunity is taken nearly sort of 11 minutes of this half, and it was one that Svenja Bartels saw well past her goal, as the game has stopped, as the Austrian captain Bettina Suljak just has allowed time to do up her right trainer.
There's a little bit of progress there from the Austrians. They managed to get a shot away, but it was well off target, and the keeper just watched it sail past the post.
In terms of the highlights for this first half, not really a lot to show, but that's certainly the most notable, memorable moment of this encounter so far, which is scoreless. Running through is Vanna Markart, but stopped in her tracks. Now we're going to see a second German change. Katja Löffler, way to our left, is ready and waiting to come on. She's sort of on the spot, just trying to get herself in the groove before she comes on. Nice checks with the official. See everything's in place before she arrives on the pitch. German ball over to the sideboard on the near side. Here is now Vanna Markart. So when the ball does next go out of play, if it is to be, before the end of this first half, we will see Katja Löffler come on. The Austrian players outweigh the one inside the German half of the pitch in the middle of it. On it now is Angelika Angera. Just dropping back, right close to that far sideboard, plays it across. Now over to the near side. Here is now Daniela Angera, who of course in her braids in her hair has certainly got different colours to it. There's the Austrian number 6. There's Germany clear. There is Bettina Suljak to get it back for the Austrians and look to try and get inside the German half of the pitch as she tries to go through two German players, Markart and Schwarz, on either side of her. She was trying to go through the middle of them. Coming into the middle of the Austrian half is Dabelstein. But real strides to get herself close to the Austrian goal, but not to be. Hengel in the Austrian goal looks ready and set to deal with a shot. And she was, and well, she's wearing a white cap, and she might as well have just thrown that on the ball because it gently rolled through to her via a deflection. But that's better from Germany, Dixie.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. They're getting the players onto the ball now and starting running with it a little bit more. It was a good dribble, but
here's an opportunity, however, and it's one that Angelika Angera is unable to take from. Svenja Bartels, of course, can't come out of her area and collect it, so she just had to let the ball sort of just remain stationary. Are we now possibly seeing this game slightly open up as we edge closer to the end of this first half, as both sides have just had an opportunity within just a few minutes of each other. Here's now Markart. Rolls away from the Austrian marker, who was real tight to her. Solyuk now just going inside Germany's half. This is a real bold run from the captain. Still goes on despite the German challenge from Matilda Maas. Solyuk is there, rolls across the goal of Svenja Bartels. It's just gone out of the area for now. Shot will come in from Angelika Angera, but it's saved by Bartels, who keeps hold of it at the first time of asking. But we are now seeing the Austrian side look a little bit more brighter going forward than the German side.
Yeah, it's starting to open up a little bit now. It's taken a while for them to settle down, but I think they have settled down now, and we are seeing one or two efforts on goal, but nothing that's really going to test the keepers. Is everything that's been hit is being hit straight at them at the moment, but it's better.
Well, of course, the ball has not been out of play that often in this game. Katja Löffler is going to come on for the German side. I think the Austrian side are looking like they're going to plan a change, but of course there is a chance for a drinks break. Why wouldn't they take it, given of course the weather, where it is absolutely beautiful sunshine here in Birmingham on this beautiful clear day. Blue skies everywhere you look, as the sun beats down on the venue here at the University of Birmingham. Only one side of this pitch is shaded, as the German change, Löffler comes on for Matilda Maas. And I'll give you the confirmation of this Austrian change, but there was someone lined up to come on. It's just whether or not they're going to bring them on for the final sort of 47 seconds that remain, or they just wait, see out with the rest of the players on the pitch, and then bring her on for the start of the second half. But time will tell on that front. But what do you think the coaches are now sort of saying? Such a crucial period in this game, you know, less than 50 seconds, Dixie. I mean, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? Do you go for the chance to try and score in that quick time, try and get up the pitch as quick as you can, or just try and maybe settle on the 0-0? It's going to be quite interesting to see what the mindset is here now, isn't it?
It is the difficult one, but you know, if they get the opportunity to go forward, they've got to take it. And if they can get a goal before half-time, that puts them in, you know, the bulk seat for the second half. So, you know, it's always a nice time to score just before the break, and changes the team talk of the coaches if you've gone 1-0 up or 1-0 down. So, yeah, they'll be going for it to try and get this goal before half-time and liven things up a little bit, and hopefully, you know, we're going to see a much improved second half performance.
The players come back to the field from the near side. It will be a German corner. Very much like sort of a basketball feel, isn't it? When the ball is stopped dead and the clock stops and you know you've got less than a minute, you've got to try and strike if you're the attacking side. Will Germany do that in a game that has been very tight? Not a lot happening right from the word go. As Markart and Dabelstein are over on this corner on the far side. Referee Romina Racedo is in between, standing away from the three Austrian players who will close down the corner, which is taken short, blocked off. It appears as though Austria did make that change at the end of towards the end of this first half, I should say. Still they go on here. Here's an opportunity with Solyuk. The ball just sort of goes underneath her and then tries to shoot, swings it, misses it, and goes on through to Svenja Bartels as play is stopped with a German player down. However, though, she gets herself back up as Amira Schwarz, no doubt, is just having a bit of a knock-on effect from trying to stop Bettina Solyuk there, but it looked like it was nearly going to be that lucky break for the Austrians there.
Yeah, she had a good run, and it all opened up for her, and just unfortunately she misplaced the kick right at the end, the important moment. Well, Rebecca Gottwald has come on for the Austrian side right at the end of this
first half. And speaking at the end of the first half, here it is. Well, they're close geographically, and we've seen nothing in this first half to suggest that any side is dominant. It's been very, very close. Both sides have defensively been strong, with not a lot of attacking prowess to show. It is half time here in this Group B encounter here at the University of Birmingham. And the second match for both Germany and Austria. It is Germany 0, Austria 0. Hopefully the second half will have a little bit more to show than the first.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
welcome back. Literally just a few seconds away until we start the second half. It is Austria who will get us underway. White shirts, black shorts, white socks, kicking off against Germany in their all-red strip. Usually you would think that it was the other way around, the strips that both are wearing, but that is what the kit colours are today. Just hearing and waiting for Romina Recedo's whistle to get this game underway. Our referee. It's the first half devoid of quality. Hopefully that does change. With India losing earlier to Argentina, it represents a brilliant chance if you're Germany, in particular, to win, given of course their final game is against the Indians. And for Austria, of course, they do have Argentina, who so far have looked imperious in this tournament and do look like they could go all the way and win. It just appears as though there is a delay to this second half, as something is not quite right amongst the referee Romina Recedo. Get a quick word from Dixie Dean just before this second half starts. Are we going to see both these sides open up straight away, or will it be more of the same, do you think?
Well, I think they've got to open up. It's no good them playing for a 0-0 draw. It doesn't help either of them really. So, particularly the Austrians, they need to get a win today, because they've got the dubious pleasure of playing Argentina in the next group game. So, Austria really need to sort of open this up and try and get themselves a goal. And I'm sure that they are trying to get a goal, but there's just a little bit of lack of quality there, and they just need to settle down and start playing their football.
It will be the Austrian side who will kick us off. Still we wait for the kick-off here to this second half. You can hear a lot of noise from the German camp. There are German flags in the seating area away to my right. The sort of fans and other national sides, both men and women, can attend and watch. It does look as though the German blind side is in attendance actually for this one as well. They are in actually England's group as well. It does appear as though that there is an issue with the scoreboard, as it's not working just yet, so there is a bit of a delay. So what they're doing at the moment is just pacing themselves and getting themselves just sort of warmed up just that little bit more, just to get a bit more energy and blood flowing in their muscles.
Yeah,
When it's technical difficulties like that, it's always out of our hands sometimes, but hopefully it can get ratified quite quickly. I mean, what has been quite interesting is that, you know, in this sort of little delay, I maybe would have just thought there might have been just some of the coaches maybe just relaying a bit of an extra message, you know, Asmin Traore or Michael Hain, but very much the players are just still on the pitch, so I guess they don't need to tell them any more that they haven't already in that 10-minute interval.
Well, I suppose they got their message across during that 10-minute break, but I think I would have dragged them back to me just to, you know, just to chivvy them up again, because they're but I think it looks like the scoreboard has run out of power. How bizarre, they're just changing the battery. Looks like a big car battery someone's just run off with. Yeah, very bizarre indeed, but hey ho, in this day of modern technology, you would have thought they would have got something better than a car battery to power it, but that's what it looks like it's happened.
Well, that is the reason for this delay, as Gracia Sosa Barenche is in the crowd, the Argentinian superstar who scored 2 of their 4 goals earlier in their 4-0 win against India. No doubt in a bit of a scouting report, as the Indian side are in attendance as well, of course. Dixie, you're staying in this athletes' village, and we were speaking off air just before this game, weren't we, how harmonious and how sort of atmospheric and really sort of, you know, well, the other nations are sort of mingling and talking with each other, and that's really in the spirit of the game, and it emphasised at the end with a joint team photo of the Austrians and the Germans, didn't it, with the Indian side and Argentinian side, I beg your pardon. So it's just going to prove, isn't it, that it is just more than a game. It's a real friendly feel to this, as well as, of course, points and, you know, places in the sort of knockout stages on the line, you could say.
Yeah. Obviously, all the countries want to win, but up in the village itself, the atmosphere is tremendous. There's people wandering around, mingling, chatting. There's a common language, a football language that everyone sort of knows. So there's no language barrier up there, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. And it's translated to the pitch as well, because we've had very few disciplinary issues in any of the games. And cards we've seen were in the Italy, I forget, it was in men's game yesterday. Italy had a coach sent off because he got a little bit excited, and that's been it. Everything else, the game's been played in a great spirit, and the atmosphere continues when they get up to the halls of residence, and accommodation's really good, and the food's really good here as well, and the volunteers are up there helping. Just a bit of praise for the volunteers, because they're here for 12 hours of a day, always with a smile on their face, and cheery, waving, and just encouraging everyone, which makes it a real nice environment to work in.
Yeah, when these games are on, they're the unsung heroes, aren't they? The volunteers. As still we wait for the scoreboard to come back on, hence why we have not had any action to describe in this second half. The Austrian side, the Austrian players in particular, Daniela Anghera and Bettina Solik, were just sort of passing the ball amongst one another in the centre circle and on the sort of halfway line. Well, we'll just go through the sides for the start of this second half. It's a good time to do so, hopefully before we eventually start the kick-off. It's in goal for Germany, Svenja Bartels. They then have in their side Vanna Markart is in the outfield lineup, Matilda Maas. Jenny Dabelstein is in there as well as Amira Schwarz. And for Austria, they are like this. Tanja Hengel in goal with a white cap on. The outfielders then, number 7, Angelika Anghera. Number 9, Rebecca Gottwald. Daniela Anghera, and also there as well, it is Bettina Suljuk for the start of this second half. So we are underway without a scoreboard. So they've decided to wait long enough, and eventually they will get the game underway, as we are still in sunshine. It did just go a little bit grey, a little bit darker, but now the sunshine is back up for us, which does make it even more brilliant and even more of a pleasure to be here.
Just for clarification, the referees have got another scoreboard on the referees table, so the time and the scores will be logged on that scoreboard, which unfortunately we can't see, but they have got one on there, so we'll just have to guess it a little bit, Matt, to be honest, because it's very difficult to know how long a game is, and you get stop clock. So, when does the referee stop the clock? You don't know without that scoreboard. So, but hey, it's all right. It's let's just get on with the game and just enjoy it.
Yeah, some of those players were waiting and were getting themselves a bit of a tan. I think they were certainly probably embracing and enjoying a bit of the sunshine whilst they were waiting for the scoreboard to be sorted out, as the guide for Austria, Beata Ankara, is just signalling. She taps the post where they could go for goal here perhaps, or work out what to do from this free kick. They've gone in from the near side into the middle third of the German half. However, now they've gone onto the far side. However, though, just over the far side line. It has, though, led to an Austrian corner, who at the start of this second half have made more roads to goal than the German side at the moment, as it still remains 0-0 here in Birmingham.
Yeah, look at the two teams. Out of the Austrian team, the player most likely to score for him is Bettina. She looks more experienced player, and she's definitely got the better dribble out of all the Austrians. So that's a likely source.
Well, Angelica Anjera is over to help with this corner. Bettina Suljak is right near it as well to receive it from this corner, which has been taken to her. Angela Anjera was the player who played it to her. There is now Bettina Suljak just going over the 14-metre line, going over towards the goalkeeper's area in the German half, but it's rolled on through to Svenja Bartels. Launches it with a right hand towards the near side in the Austrian half. Just in the sort of final third where Bettina Suljak was. However, though, she's touched it last out of play, and it's the first corner of the second half for the German side. It's Dabelstein and Vanna Markart are over on this near side, right in front of us. Dabelstein will take. Flex off of Suljak. So we have got the score and the minutes up for this second half. To emphasise there is a problem with the scoreboard here at the venue here in the University of Birmingham. So it is 0-0. We have played 2.5 minutes, sorry, a minute and a half of this second half.
Just to clarify for the people who are watching, it says on the score in your corner of your screen first half. This is not the first half, it's second half. Okay.
There's the confirmation there from Dixie that it is the second half and it is 0-0. Don't worry, you didn't miss a lot from that first half, so you're quite welcome for that. Here is now Markart, who was dribbling, gets the shot away, 14 metres out, central position, but it's a low effort, which comfortably Tanja Hengel will see go past her on the left-hand side. Never, ever going to trouble the Austrian goalkeeper with that attempt. Well, it is still 0-0 here. Svenja Bartels rolls it out from her own penalty area, just over the 14-metre line. Will it reach Dabelstein? Didn't get a touch off anybody in white in Austria or anybody in red in Germany. Instead, it's gone all the way out from one end to the other. It will be an Austrian restart with Tanja Hengel right arm throw out to the far side. Over towards the board where behind them, of course, the fans are. A lot of them in red shirts, the German fans. The India team are in support. Here's a chance for Germany with Dabelstein. She's in the penalty area. She just runs into Hengel, who gets down at her feet and denies her from shooting. It was good goalkeeping in the end from Tanja Hengel. She didn't really have a lot of room to move him, but she just had to stop Dabelstein, and stop her is what she did.
Yeah, it was brave goalkeeping by the Austrian keeper. The German player was coming in at a bit of a rate of knots into her area, and she's got down on the floor and made a good block, and the ball's gone out for a corner.
Yeah, she was brave indeed, wasn't she? She was almost having to just accept that she might get a bit of a clash into a real full throttle, and she did very, very well to stop Jenny Dabelstein and not allow Germany to score the first goal of this game. Still remember scoreless in a game and a half of this tournament for both. Although comes to nothing. Daniela Anjera and Bettina Suljak just run into each other midway through their own half. Ball over on the far side, that white ball with a sort of blue tinge on it. Vanna Markart closed down well, just in the last few yards of her own half, or metres. Here's Markart on the halfway line inside her own half. Ball at her feet, now she's just able to just shift away from Daniela Anjera, but it's more of a pattern and more of the same developing, isn't it, Dickie? Both sides quite defensive and quite reserved. It is exactly sort of, you know, what you didn't want it to really be, which is to really open up, which you were probably expecting it to be.
Yeah, it's a little better though, to be honest. They are trying to get the ball forward, and there is a little bit more goal mouth action. And I would suggest that as this half goes on and the clock ticks down, that it's going to get more and more frantic.
Yeah, we hope so. And you expect it to be, as you quite rightly said, Dixie. Right in the corner, sandwiched over on that far side, just in that long line in the shade, is Tina Sulyuk. No movement yet for both benches in this second half. Over there, Austria have got themselves a free kick in a promising position. They won't be taken just yet because there is a German player just tying up her shoes, which does appear to be Jenny Dabelstein.
Yeah, there's an indirect free kick out on the board here for a little bit of obstruction, so it won't go against them as a team foul because it's an indirect.
Every German outfielder is in front of Svenja Bartels as the guide. Beata Anghera is just emphasising marking out the goal, pointing it out as she taps onto it. So this indirect free kick has led to a shot and off the crossbar. Wonderful scooped effort, toe poke towards it, and that's the closest we've come to a goal, and it was a very good effort indeed by Daniela Anghera. As Svenja Bartels has thrown that out. Now over towards Dabelstein in the Austrian half of the pitch. Just over the 14-metre line. She's level with the 8-metre line. Still goes on, gets the shot in low. Through the legs of the Austrian players, but does go through to Tanja Hengel, who will make a stop out of it. Here is now Daniela Anghera, who's had the best chance with that toe-poked effort which hit the bar on the scoreboard. It is not the first half, it is the second half. We are 6.5 minutes or so into it. It is goalless between Germany and Austria. Argentina running away with the lead in this group. 7 goals scored, none conceded, 2 wins out of 2. They beat India 4-0 earlier on today. So you probably have to sense this would be a missed opportunity for Germany if this was a draw, given of course their final game. They play against India, and Austria will take on Argentina with Gracia Sosa Baranche in the crowd. No doubt getting a feel of what this Austrian side will be. And they will be taking on Friday. Vanna Markart trying to carry the ball forward. Trying to carry it a long way, but crowded out by Angelika Anghera. And it will be an Austrian restart. That was good defensive play by Angelika Anghera there. And there will be a chance of a timeout and a chance to get some fluids on board, as it is a very red hot roasting day here in what is British summertime. As we get to see some of the notable second half chances. That's the best one from Daniela Anghera with that effort from that indirect free kick, and it nearly worked a treat there, Dixie.
Yeah, it was a good little move there. She was out a bit wide, and but she got her shot off, and she just clipped the top of the bar with as she lifted her lofted shot across the goal. So I think the keeper would have had it covered if it had been underneath the bar. But yeah, a little bit of excitement for us, and then we just saw a shot from the Germans, which was easily gobbled up by the Austrian keeper, and no problems there. So yeah, it's getting a little bit better. It's moving, and we're getting some goal-mouth action, which is a good thing.
Very good indeed. And just going back to that Daniela Anghera chance, we haven't yet seen that often in the tournament. They've gone for the indirect free kick and they've shot from a fair old way out. It was a real sort of wide angle, so she's had to do a lot to get it in. If it dipped a little bit lower, that's definitely hitting the back of the net. And we're talking about there, Dixie, one of the goals of this women's competition so far, bar none.
Yeah, it would have been a cracking goal if it would have gone in, but you know, as a keeper, you'd be well disappointed if you were conceding from there, to be honest. And but it was worth an effort, because as I say, there's an old adage in football: if you don't shoot, you don't score. So just get shots in on goal, and you get your percentages, don't you?
Back underway we go. Tanya Hangel, rocket launch of a throw out of her hands. Just goes inside the German half of the pitch. Angelika Ankara had the ball, then it just sort of came off the back of her heel. Midway through the German half of the pitch. And she's edging towards the 14-metre line. Now winning it is Matilda Maas. Over she is on that far sideboard with Bettina Suljuk, who's in possession for the Austrians. She's been able to get away from two players, her and Vanna Markart. Here is now Suljuk, urged on and encouraged by the crowd. As I mentioned, you see quite a lot of red shirts there. No doubt, of course, supporting the German side, because that is the colour shirt they're wearing for this encounter today. No, they haven't swapped their kit with the Austrian side. They are in white for this one. Of course, they were in white against Argentina. Now inside the Austrian half is Jenny Dabelstein. Whoever though loses out, Austria win it back. Rebecca Gottwald with the challenge. She's trying to liaise with Daniela Ankara to work out who's going to clear it. They come to an understanding and are able to clear the ball away. As no doubt where we are in the middle of the pitch, the coaches, Esmin Troyer and Michael Hain, can give the instructions to their players. Has now shifted out to that far sideboard. Coming good few metres infield is Daniela Ankara. Inside the German half of the pitch, ball at her feet. With both hands on the white board as she comes 10 metres or so infield. Now she's going towards the 14-metre line, but stopped in her tracks and stopped well by Jenny Dabelstein. Moving around slowly. They don't want the ball to get stationary, because then, of course, they can't quite work out where the ball is on the pitch, perhaps, as Angelika Ankara and Jenny Dabelstein collide with one another. Referee Romina Resedo drops the ball. Right footed planted onto it in her black trainers. It will be German free kick, maybe just a little bit too forceful in trying to stop Dabelstein. There was Ankara. Just under 5.5 minutes away from this game ending. Still 0-0. The time is now. You probably have to feel if anyone is going to try and find a winner. Don't want to leave it too late and maybe regret not throwing the kitchen sink, to use an old term, to go for it. Over on that far side, crowded out was Jenny Dabelstein. Whilst you could say the attacking quality hasn't quite been there, Dixie, defensively they've been pretty consistent in being solid and being very disciplined, both these sides.
Yes, indeed. They've been very good at the back, and they've got bodies in and around the ball, and they've limited chances to an absolute premium, really. But yeah, I think we've got, what, 4.5 minutes to go. One of these teams has got to open up and sort of push it on a bit and try and get a goal, because as you said at the start, a 0-0 draw really doesn't do anyone any favours.
We're going to see a change here for the Austrian side, as we will see Rebecca Gottwald come off just in front of us, as Anna-Marie Javornik will be her replacement in a sort of amber coloured Nike boots. And of course, remember, we are in the second half of this game, not the first, as it says on the score graphic. It is 0-0. There is a problem with the scoreboard inside the venue, but of course we are still playing, because as Dixie relayed earlier, there is a scoreboard on the referee's official sort of table, isn't there? So that means, of course, that they've got the time in there, and of course the timekeeper for the game, Mayara Crispin, of course, is able to keep an eye on the time and how long's left of this game, as Austria look to try and strike, but Tina Suljuk still going on. She was getting just past the 8-metre line, getting very close to the sort of 6-metre line, but Germany defend it well. It's an Austrian corner with just under 4 minutes to play. Still goalless here and very much on a knife edge this game. And you can almost sense the tension between these two players on the pitch. As the corner is taken short, it now goes to Angelika Ankara. Germany, though, inside their own half. Here's now Dabelstein. She's been the one the most likeliest to have made anything happen for the German side. Ball just skids off the bottom end of her trainer. Now the Austrians in possession. Here is now Sulyuk, the captain. Can she be the source of inspiration as it is 0-0 here? Still she goes on. Right-footed shot, low. Svenja Bartel sees it past her right-hand side as it was off target, but that was better from Bettina Sulyuk as a timeout's been called.
Yeah, it was a little bit better. She's picked the ball up on the left-hand board, and she's probably, 15, 16 metres from goal. And nice little turn. She's beaten one of the German players, moved forward another 2-3 yards, and she's hit the ball quite firmly. But to be honest, she's 10 metres from goal, and she needs to get in a little bit closer than that and get the accuracy right. But as I said earlier, for the Austrians, she is the one. If they're going to get a goal, I can see it coming from her.
And the German crowd still in attendance as they watch on. Because there are some representatives of the men's team in attendance as well. Of course, it is a very warm day, so no doubt more drink will be taken on board in these breaks than probably what we've seen over the last few days. As we have just over 3 minutes left to play in this second half, remember, not the first half. We did have a delayed start to the second half because of electronic issues with the scoreboard, but of course that doesn't matter, and the referee Romina Resedo did elect to eventually start the game. It has been a close affair. Not a lot in it. It certainly showed in this one between these two, as Germany will get us back underway. Svenja Bartels in all black, in an Adidas kit. Appropriate, of course, given Adidas is the country where it hails from, Germany, and of course is the kit provider for the women's blind team and probably the men's as well. Bartels with the throw, letting it bounce is Vanja Markart, but it will be cleared by Javornik. Just in the centre circle in the Austrian half is Markart. Now Sulyuk goes on. She's around sort of 10 metres out. She has just been forced back. That's really good work actually by Matilda Mas to send her back and not allow her to get closer and closer to Svenja Bartel's goal. Coming in from the far sideboard is Daniela Ankara. It's been closed down well. The Germans, though, inside their own half, now able to bring it out with Vanja Markart. She's able to get away from Bettina Sulyuk, and then she just brings the ball back inside her own half and wins it. And in the near side where she occupies at the moment, she's a couple of metres infield, now has it, and Austria regain the ball and are in possession. There is now Angelika Ankara. Now to Daniela. Goes down by Amira Schwarz. Although Austria able to come away with it from their own half. Markart battling with Sulyuk. You can hear the encouragement from the sides, not from the coaches' areas, of course, but certainly from the supporters in the far side where the action and where the pattern of play is at the moment. Just over 90 seconds left of this encounter as the women's football second round of matches concludes here. Argentina big winners against India. Germany and Austria 0-0 here. This is not an ideal result, you have to say, as Dixie did mention. Sulyuk The ball is stationary and not sure where it is. Luckily, there was a touch there, so they are now aware of where they are and where the ball is. Daniela Angera gets the shot away. Along the floor and through to Svenja Bartel. So eventually a shot did come in there, although you're going to have to do very, very well to beat the goalkeeper from that sort of range.
Yeah, it was sort of 15 metres out, and yeah, it was a really easy save for the goalkeeper, but it's a shot.
There is Daniela Angera. Austria ending the game well. We've just got under 50 seconds left. Goalless here, Bettina Sulyuk. Around sort of 7 or so metres out, was trying to get the shot away, but the German defence pulls her back. Defensively, both sides have been pretty outstanding, you have to say. And you have to really give them the credit on that front. Certainly the attacking play does need a bit of improvement for both, as it looks as though there was a German player blocked off on that near side as the full-time whistle has been blown for this second half. Well, it is goalless between Germany and Austria, still yet to find the back of the net in this tournament. Not a great deal happened in truth, as it was a game where both did really cancel each other out, as Germany and Austria have ended up with a point apiece, so they're on the board in terms of getting off the mark in this tournament, but they need to get off the mark for goals, and maybe for both they will feel like this is a bit of a missed opportunity as the second round of matches concludes here in the women's football, as Germany and Austria have played out a 0-0 draw here in sunny Birmingham. It has finished here, Germany 0, Austria 0.